Welcome back to Sacred Rhythms. I'm glad you're here. And today I'm going to do something different than I have usually done because today I got this hysterically funny email from one of my buddies who is a Roman Catholic priest and an organist, and it's just great. This article asks, why, when the church has a trove of profound, beautiful, and poignant hymns, do we endure what is banal, clunky, and silly? And you can read the entire article at http://www.catholicworldreport.com/issue/article.aspx ? All one word, equals 1464. And I'm going to try and type this all out in the description of this article. Anyway, the farther you get reading this article, the funnier it gets. It is a scream, and you should go read it. This article is by a man named Anthony Esolen, who has spent his entire adult life studying and teaching poetry. And he says that his next book is going to be on the poetry of Christian hymns because he wants to show ordinary churchgoers just how rich the best of these poems are. He wants to turn the attention of ordinary churchgoers to the linguistic and theological artistry of the best of these hymns that in the Lutheran Church have become Hymn of the Day candidates. Esolen points out, quote, "We do have a rich treasury of hymn poems to read, to sing, to keep close to the heart. Some of them are almost as old as Christianity itself. They come from the Latin and the Greek, from our own English, from French and German and all the languages of Europe. Some were written by Charles Wesley or Isaac Watts. Some rose up from an anonymous lyricist among the people, like What Wondrous Love Is This. Some entered our language by the skill of great translators like John Mason Neale and Catherine Winkworth. Some were the work of pious laity who meditated on scriptures all their lives, as the blind Fanny Cosby gives us, Jesus, keep me near the cross. Just as many of our most beautiful melodies were written by the finest composers who ever lived, Bach, Handel, Haydn, so too many of our hymns were written by poets of some renown, George Herbert, Robert Bridges, John Milton. And if you look at the teeny print, if you look at the teeny print at the bottom of any given hymn, you're going to get an entire education about the great cloud of witnesses that are with us as we sing our hymns. That tiny print will tell you who wrote the words of the hymn, who wrote the tune, and about what year the words or the tune were written. And the author asks, why, when we have such a trove of the great, the profound, the beautiful, the memorable, the poignant, the splendid, do we have to endure what is banal, clunky, clumsy, dull, vague, and silly? Have you ever noticed that Isaac Watts wrote the words to Joy to the World, while Handel wrote the music? Have you ever noticed? Well, it's there at the bottom of the page. Have you ever noticed how many German hymns Catherine Winkworth translated into English? Did you know that it's from John Wesley that we get Love Divine, All Loves Excelling, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, or Christ the Lord is Risen Today? Have you ever noticed that it's G.K. Chesterton who wrote O God of Earth and Altar in Advent as we sing O Lord of Light who made the stars? Have you noticed that we're singing a 9th century Latin hymn? Hymns that we love, like Praise to the Lord the Almighty, the King of Creation, which was the processional at Mike's and my wedding, or O Living Bread from Heaven. She's the reason that we have, Catherine Winkworth is the reason that we have Lord thee I love with all my heart, and baptized into thy name most holy. Anyway, look at the teeny weeny print at the bottom of the page for any given hymn, and then Google the names that are connected with the text and the tune. You are going to learn so much neat stuff about the great cloud of witnesses that surround us as we sing the great hymns in praise of God. And speaking for myself, there are many, many times when these great hymns have put into beautiful words what I truly feel in my heart, but could never express, like, for example, Lord thee I love. At one point we sing, and should my heart for sorrow break, my trust in thee can nothing shake. Thou art the portion I have sought. Thy precious blood my soul has bought. Lord Jesus Christ, my God and Lord, my God and Lord, forsake me not, I trust thy word. I'm just not smart enough or clever enough to be able to come up with phrases like these that so perfectly capture my sentiments. I could never do it. But with these words, I can express them. And there are these wonderful hymns, joining the sentiment of my heart with the words of the great cloud of witnesses that surround us. Anyway, you can read the entire article that my friend sent me at http://www.catholicworldreport.com/issue/article.aspx ? content ID = 1464. The deeper into the article you go, the funnier it gets. I mean, laugh out loud funny. And the point that it makes is, why should Christians have to sing hymns that are banal, clunky, and silly when we have this trove of profound, beautiful, and poignant hymns? Why should we, when we can join our voices and our hearts with the great cloud of witnesses? I hope I have helped you gain an even greater understanding into the real treasure that the church has in her hymns. And I hope that I have pointed you in the direction of learning more about these hymns. And I hope to see you soon at Sacred Rhythms. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you soon.